This is a HeadGum podcast.
Oh, yeah. Welcome to A Funny Feeling Podcast. I'm Betsy Sidaro.
And I'm Marcy Jarrow. This is a podcast where comedians tell us their paranormal experiences, and we listen to yours as well.
Oh, yeah. And if you have one of these paranormal experiences that you want to share with us, please email it to us at funnyfeelingpod@gmail.com.
Now get cozy.
And prepare yourself to be scared silly.
This is a Funny Feeling podcast. Button push.
Button push.
I think I can officially say, Betsy.
I'm excited.
There's been a little chill in the air.
It's been crisp. It's been crisp in Los Angeles.
Oh, I love it, B.
I love it. The ski resort I go to opened up yesterday.
Hell yeah.
So I'm gonna go in a couple of days. It's just like, the white white strip of death. Wow, that
what?
took me a while. Where it's just one run of snow and you just go.
You go, wah, like you're Goofy learning to ski.
Yeah. Remember the Goofy ski movie?
I think of it all the time.
I think of it. I watch it quite a bit. It's on Disney Plus.
It's so.
His toes in that ski boot always made me laugh because they give him like crazy human toes when they zoom into the ski boot. Hey, watch it. Check it out.
I need to watch it. I think about it, but I don't watch it enough.
Marcy,
I'm failing everyone.
You gotta watch it. How you doing, Marcy? Anything spooky happened to you?
Wait, let me pause you real quick, and I'm gonna turn off my damn space heater. It's not that cold.
Whoa, you got a space heater going.
I'm leaning into it. Hold on.
You must be hot. Okay.
I'm burning alive. I came back.
Yay!
You were asking me if anything spooky had happened, and I don't think so. I don't think anything spooky has happened. I will say my parents were here, and they were helping me like settle in and stuff and organize my storage area downstairs. And they kept being like, where does this pin go? And I was like, guys... You can't stop me because I'm like up in a loft, like half bent over. And like, I was like,
whoa,
you can't stop me to ask me about that. I was like, just put the stuff that's similar by this, like with like, just pile it together. And then I'll sort through it. Mom was like, well, we don't know what some of these things are. And I was like, okay, well, what does it look like? And I'm like up, I can't see her.
Yeah,
and she's
like,
2 pins connected by a wire. I was like, 2 pins connected by a wire? Show it to me. It was a jump rope.
Oh.
I would have never in a million years guessed.
God, that is so funny.
It really made me laugh. I was like,
what are you so funny?
I said, you're saboteurs. You're working against me.
That is... I don't know, 2 pens connected with a wire. I
guess she meant like markers or something because it was like one of those speed jump ropes.
That is so funny. I thought it was going to be something dirty that your mom discovered.
Honestly, at least that would have made sense why they couldn't figure out what it was. I feel like a lot of people should know what a jump rope is, but
you would think.
Different generation.
I mean, also if hey, Marcy.
What?
Who are we kidding? I'm looking at you right now and there's a bunch of wires coming out of your head and out of your microphone.
Wait, okay, that's my hair and that is my microphone cord.
Uh-oh.
What about you? Anything spooky?
Nothing too spookity. I did see the movie Thanksgiving.
How was it?
It rules. I had such a good time during it. And I saw it at the Vista, dude.
It's open.
It's open.
That's
and
exciting.
It's beautiful. And it was like a pretty packed crowd. And everybody was just in the mood to enjoy a fun horror movie.
It was Quentin
a dream come
Tarantino
true.
there?
Not that I know of.
I think he was dressed up.
He might have been.
Trying to.
What if he was one of the chairs somebody sat in?
What a sicko. That would be sick.
Yeah. Hey, take your shoes off too.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's a foot fella.
He likes feet. I remember once upon a time in Hollywood just being like, ugh,
A lot of
there's
feet.
so many feet, man.
Dirty feet too, like really dirty feet.
too.
It's funny. I had a friend who was like trying to figure out a way to make money, and I was like, "You should do like a foot OnlyFans." And
Really?
they were like, "I don't want to know that like people are like jerking off to my feet." And I was like, "They've probably been doing it for years without you knowing it. You might as well make $5."
Real? Yeah, might as well.
Because that was like the barrier. Like, I don't like, wasn't like to pretend you're a foot model, that's fine. But to be like, oh, this is for people to have like enjoyment. You're like, so what? They've been stealing from you if you think about it.
They've been doing it before. Yeah. Might as well do it.
Get them, step on some Jello molds or whatever.
Oh man, ew! But also great if you're into it.
Hey, honestly, that sounds like good, clean, nasty fun.
Yeah. I just have always been weirded out by feet. I don't like feet.
You know, there's two kinds of people in the world. People who think there's two kinds of people, and then people who understand there's nuance. But I do think there are three kinds of people. People who are neutral, people who hate them.
Think there's three? Oh, yeah, neutral.
Neutral, hate them, like them. Or
Yes.
love them. Maybe there's four. Yeah.
Maybe 4.
And then nothing in between.
Any of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I hope that, you know, one reason why I'm glad nothing spooky's happened is because I've moved into a new place.
Yeah,
And it's
dude.
very quiet up here.
Wow, yeah.
So that's unusual. I mean, all my neighbors, though, are friendly and I know them.
That rules.
They were immediately like, hi, who are you? Welcome to the neighborhood. What's your deal?
great.
Love it.
Great.
Love it. A lot of good dogs in this. There was a block party and there were like 24 dogs and like eight people. 8 people, 24 dogs.
Perfect.
There's a vet in my neighborhood and he's got a bunch of little dogs.
Great.
Yeah.
This is a good hood.
It's a good hood. And the other night I was driving home and a coyote ran right in front of my car.
Oh no.
And it was missing half its tail.
Oh.
And I was like, that's what happens. It got hit. I'm sure that half tail got hit by a car.
That one little hat. Maybe. Yeah. Whoa. Oh, the other night. This is scary. You'll see why. I woke up
That's
to the like screeching outside.
Oh no.
Like wee, like animal screeching. And I wait and I like jump out of bed and I like look out my window and then in the neighbor's yard I see a skunk with the tail so high up running away from something. And then of course everything was stinky.
Oh, well, it was like defense.
It wasn't defense, but it was like, oh no. It took me like 2 hours to get back to sleep because I was like, it stinks, man.
Stinks like
It's too stinky in here. Years ago, this is sad, our neighbor's dog killed a skunk. And
I
it was
remember that.
right outside
And you stunk
of our
for
house.
a long time.
Yes, because Lauren Lapkus, like a week later, after all this happened, I went to a show, and Lauren Lapkus gave me a hug, and then was like, "You kind of smell," and I was like, "Fuck, do I smell like skunk?" And she's like, "Yeah, really bad." It got into the my closet with my clothes in it and stuff.
Oh man. Oh,
Stinky.
What a nice person to tell you, though.
I appreciate that.
Wait, I learned when I was on vacation, I learned something that is kind of...
Yeah, you went to vacation.
went to the Caribbean and I
Yes.
did a bioluminescence swim in the dark. It was like almost it was almost a new moon. So it was like very, very dark.
What?
And we were swimming like in the dark. And the guy was like, I'm not going to tell you there aren't sharks here. We only have hammerheads and bull sharks and something else.
Oh,
I was like,
my
those are aggressive. He's like,
God.
but you probably won't be bothered by them. So that was a little spooky.
Oh
but,
my God. I gotta get out.
Well,
of here.
a few friends were like, we're not going to do it. We'll just go for the boat ride. But then something happened and they got bullied. The Sugar Bear, our boat captain, bullied him into it. He tried to make us hold jellyfish. We had to go pet some starfish. But I found out, this is what's a thing. So this is a PSA. And I said this on stage recently because someone was talking about how they like took pictures with a starfish. I was like, you can't take them out of water. They die. Like you can't take them out of water.
I didn't know that.
You can't because people will take them out like just for a second. It's like, yeah, but it's never just for a second. They keep taking pictures and then the starfish is dead and they don't even realize they've killed it.
Oh my, like how?
Don't take it out at all.
So it's kind of like fish. Just don't.
Just don't at all. Don't risk it.
Just don't.
It's not worth your picture. Don't do it. So just that's my PSA. The person was like, I said it like on stage at ASCAC because the monologist was like, oh, yep, it died. And she was like, oh, and I was like, but it's good that you did it because now we all know. Everyone here knows.
We all learned to let. That's so funny.
It wasn't in vain.
Whoa.
It was for me to tell you this story because I literally had just found it out the week prior. So if you're ever in a place, don't do it. Don't pick them up.
I wouldn't want to touch one anyways. Just because it's like, I don't know.
But he was
what if it stings me?
They don't sting, but they do have like little like teeth in the center. But he was like, if you see two starfish, like one on top of the other one, take them apart because it's eating the other one.
Whoa, I thought they were maybe doing it.
No, he was like kind of just gently like tap them and they'll let go.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just eating this other one.
I think they might not be the smartest beings.
Hey, they're doing what they need to do.
But I will tell you, the bioluminescence swim was actually so
was
cool.
I bet that was like a bucket list thing you didn't even know was on your bucket list.
I would
where
do
you're
it,
like,
yeah.
This is one of the most incredible things I've ever done in my life.
It's really cool because it's like plankton and they light their defense mechanism is to light up. So when you move in the water, that's when they start lighting up. So like because we're wearing little goggles and snorkels.
Yeah.
And you're in the water and it's completely dark. And as you're moving, you see them like all around. It almost looks like what I've never done any psychedelics, but it looks like what I imagined that. Like just kind of like these like little fairies kind of all around your skin.
Wow.
It was really magical.
Cool.
Really magical. Don't bring starfish
Were
out of the
you
water.
then able to see like under like the underwater part at all? Like
it didn't
more,
light up
or?
that much. It only lit them up. So it's still blackness.
God, that's so cool.
Almost like the idea of like kind of being out in the universe, like it was really cool. And then
that's awesome.
Then we heard some British people being like, we got stung by jellyfish.
Yep, that'll happen.
I was like, glad I
that'll
didn't get stung.
happen.
Anyway, that was me talking too long about
That's
starfish.
Cool. No, we need a check-in. We needed a little check-in.
Don't pick up starfish at all.
Don't pick up starfish. They're just trying to eat each other. Let them just live.
Honestly, I'm going to say this about all animals that aren't your own pets. Don't touch them.
Don't touch them.
Unless someone says, you can pet my dog.
Yeah. You can ask to be like, may I pet your dog?
But don't touch them. None of them probably want to be touched. With the exception of all the cats that I trap and take inside.
They love it.
Honestly, they do. I can tell. They're
yes.
All
they're
right.
Stoked.
They're fucking ripped. Okay.
Let's get spooky, dude.
Let us get some dang spooks going on. I'm going to start up with a long ass one.
I'm here for it. What if it's somebody just reading A Christmas Carol?
That would be kind of cool. Do we have to pay for that if that happens? Is that public domain?
I think it's kind of game on. I'm going to say it's fucking public domain. I don't know.
All right. Take it to my lawyers. It's public domain. Okay. I'm pulling it up.
Hi, Marcy and Betsy. I previously sent you guys a story about this ghostly Pop-Tart experience that I had. I don't think you guys have ever played it. I've been playing some of your old 2021 pods, so I don't think you guys have played it. I haven't gone back recently and seen it, but I attached it. I know you had that little email fiasco, but anyway, I attached it to this email. But over the course of the last few months, I've been realizing that I actually have a lot of other stories. They're smaller stories, but I thought they were worth sharing. So I'll just start. So the first story that I have for you was when I was pretty young. I feel like I was about 10 years old. All I really remember is that I was really, really upset. And I went to my room to basically just sit on my bed and cry. Whatever it was that was making me upset, I really cannot remember. It's not what I remember about the story. I just remember just like crying uncontrollably, being by myself, feeling really left out, and just, feeling pretty sorry for myself. So the next thing that happened was I felt a warmth next to me, not all over my body, but like as if somebody had sat down next to me on the bed, even though I didn't feel like any pressure or anything like that. But it was so strange because the warmth was as if somebody had sat down next to me, put their body up against me, and then their arm kind of went around my other shoulder, if you can picture that. And it was so, like, in the moment, it was so obvious, the pattern of the hug, just felt like a hug from someone who was sitting next to you, because I was sitting on the edge of the bed. I wasn't really freaked out. I wasn't scared. I felt really comforted. I think if that happened to me now, I probably would actually be more scared. But for whatever reason, it was kind of exactly what I needed in that moment. But it always stuck with me. I never forgot it. And I remember looking in the mirror later after it happened and going, wow, did that really just happen? Like, it's one thing to feel like some kind of physiological response, like your whole body is getting warm, like from whatever, but to have it be so strangely localized in what felt like a hug, like a pressure and a warmth around my body. It felt like a religious experience. I'm not religious, but it felt very like, kind of confirmed for me early on that I believed in ghosts or something beyond the world that we live in. Anyway, that's one story. That was at my parents' house. The second story kind of has to do with my house that I live in now. I bought it with my husband a few years ago, amazingly, in this LA housing market. So we got really lucky. We got a beautiful home, 1920s home, old sort of like cottagey style. It's gorgeous. Anyway, I've always wondered kind of the history with it. It's had several different owners, which I always thought was a little bit fishy. But I don't know, nothing too weird. But the first thing that happened was 3 days after we had closed on the house. We were starting to load all of our stuff from our condo to the new house. What had happened was I was standing in the kitchen, and this was late at night. I was by myself. My husband works really late. So I was by myself. I was probably loading stuff into the fridge. But I remember closing the fridge door, and I don't even think my cats were with me at that time. But all of a sudden, in the darkness of this house, except for the light in the kitchen, I heard a whistle, a very long whistle in my right ear, as if somebody was standing right next to my head and whistling right in my ear. And my first thought was my husband's stepfather, who passed away a couple years ago. I don't know why, but he popped into my head because it felt very like he was very mischievous. And it just felt like something he would do. And part of the reason that we have the house in the first place is because of him, for reasons I won't go into. But he passed away very, very suddenly, very unexpectedly, and really tragically, because he was recently married. It was just a horrible, horrible thing that happened. But anyway, when we first bought the house, we definitely were thinking of him a lot, because he's part of the reason that we got the house at all. So when the whistling in the ear happened, I immediately thought of him. Like he had somehow traveled with us to the house. Or it could be ghosts from the house. I don't know. Either way, I freaked out. I called a friend of mine. She and her husband told me to just get out of the house. My husband got freaked out. He was afraid someone had broken into the house. None of that happened. There was nobody in the house that I could see. Not on this plane, anyway. Other things have happened in our house. I feel like a year into owning it, we have 2 cats, and I feel like they're our little protectors. I really do feel like cats, like, they swat the demons away. There's something about cats and dogs, they kind of know what's up, right? So one night, it was the middle of the night. So it was before we had kids. Me and my husband were in bed. The cats, all of a sudden, just sort of like their body raises and they look around and they're hearing something. And we were like, oh God, what is it? And we heard something fell. That's what woke all of us up. Something fell in the living room. I don't know what it was, but I'm whispering to my husband, like, I just heard something, and he's usually fast asleep. So he sleeps through all of it, but he woke up too. The cats are freaked out. My husband gets his giant, he's like one of those foot-long flashlights. No, more than a foot long. Like really, like you could hit somebody over the head with it. So he's got his flashlight. He's looking around the house and he's, using his manly voice like, who's there, And, there's silence for a few seconds. And then all of a sudden, there's a huge crash on the ground. And we freaked the fuck out, like the 4 of us, me, my husband, and our 2 cats. And I'm like, what the hell was that? And so we're even more on edge and we're walking around the house like, what, just like huddled together, like what in the Scooby-Doo hell is going on? And finally I figure out that it was one of our paintings that has a really big frame around it fell to the ground from the wall, which could have just been, it could have just been that heavy frame. But we were woken up by a small noise to begin with. And then, after a little bit of time for it to fall again, after that, it just seemed like the timing seemed really strange. Could just be a coincidence, but that was one thing. Another thing, this happened recently. This happened a few days ago. We have 2 kids now. So me and my husband, our 2 cats and our 2 kids, who are young, they're only 3. We all sleep in the same bed because of course we do. Why not? It's a party. They don't like to sleep in their own room. So, I got woken, usually all 5 of them fall asleep before I do. I'm always the last one to go to sleep, of course. So I go to sleep a little bit later, and it doesn't feel like I'm asleep for very long. I don't really know what time passed, but something wakes me up with a start. Maybe I had a bad dream. I don't really remember what it was, but I woke up with a start, and I was like halfway in, halfway out of dreaming, and I hear my husband sort of shuffling around, And I kind of see him in the darkness sort of standing up. He's kind of got a very slight little orange glow around his face and his head. And then I'm like, "Hun, why are you standing up right now?" And then I hear from the other side of the bed him go, "I'm not standing up." And I was like, "What?" What do you mean? So I'm trying to process this. I keep blinking my eyes and eventually it goes away, but could have been partially because I was in, one foot in the dream world, but I could have sworn I saw an outline of a person with sort of a little bit of an orange glow to the face, and kind of almost like in a little bit of a halo pattern around the head. And the other thing about it is we have a smoke alarm on one side of our bed, and it has a little glowing light in it. And this figure, whatever it was obstructing that light. And I remember that. And so it's like, okay, so I didn't see that little glowing light because there was something standing in front of it. But, yeah, freaky shit happens usually around the witching hour. Which is when I always wake up at like 2:55, 3 a.m. That's the special time, right? So anyway, nothing ever came of that, but it was just weird. Last story I have for you. Sorry, it's running so long. So the last thing is, this happened in the same house, in the same bedroom. This was like, oh God, this is maybe 2 or 3 years ago. This was pre-pandemic, actually. Yeah. So I was taking a nap in the middle of the day, and I was waking from that nap again, like kind of one foot in one world, in the dream world, and 1 foot in reality. But I was waking up, and I felt pretty much like, okay, I'm awake now, right? But it's really hard to describe. But as I was waking up, and I felt like I was awake, I heard a disembodied voice again in only like one ear, in my right ear. And the disembodied voice says, "Well, we'll see about that." And it was like this very crisp voice, like neither male or female. It was just like, it's so hard to describe, but it wasn't like a menacing voice. It was like I was having a conversation in my dream with somebody. I was having a conversation. I was waking up, but whoever I was talking to was not ready to end the conversation. And they said that. And it just startled me because it was, and it could just be an auditory hallucination, but it was so intense because I was awake, but all of a sudden I heard a voice in my ear while I was awake, and it really felt like I was living this whole other life in my dream where I can't remember any of it when I wake up. It's a whole other reality, but I got a tiny glimpse of a conversation that I was having with somebody else who was like, "I just need to say this one last thing before you wake up," which was, "We'll see about that." Again, not menacing. I know it sounds kind of menacing, but it wasn't like a scary kind of a thing. Just really, really strange, and really startling. But yeah, anyway, so those are the stories from my house, which is definitely not haunted. Yeah, anyway, I love you gals. You two are the best. You really brighten my day. I love the pod so much. It just makes everything so much better when I'm having one of those days. So I appreciate you too. Don't shit your pants. Love you. Bye.
Love you. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Excuse me. That was menacing sounding.
We'll see about that.
We'll see about that.
I just can't think of another way unless someone. I can't think of another.
Because
yeah,
try saying it really positively. Like that's still.
We'll see about that.
Still menacing. Still menacing.
We'll see about that.
We'll see about that. Like,
We'll
there's still...
Come see about that.
Wow. Yeah, your house is definitely not haunted.
Not haunted at all. I had a funny moment.
Oh, my... Yeah, Marcy had a very funny moment.
How would you even... What did I do?
So it was during the story of...
The whistle or not the whistle?
No, the husband, like, glowing
Yes.
face and standing up.
And then he was like, I'm not standing up.
Yes. Marcy goes, whoa, that's like a scary story. And then she immediately goes, it is a scary story. And then we laughed for a long time.
They're all scary stories.
Wait a second. But I fully understand what you mean, of course. But it is funny to be like, that's like a fucking scary story, dude. And then it's like, oh, yeah, it is a scary story.
Oh, that's what we're doing.
That's what we do on this podcast.
Oh, right. So, scary story.
It was so funny and just so, like, innocent and it was great.
But that and the other one, I'm kind of I apologize that I'm getting
the
them
whistle.
a little. Yeah, that one and the friends being like, get out of the house. Whoa.
Dude, yeah. And with the whistle of like immediately having an idea of who it is.
Barf.
You know?
Barf.
It's like I think you nailed it. I think it's the father-in-law.
That father-in-law.
That father-in-law. That was great. Wow.
Those were really good. It was, like I said, we typically like a shorter, but those were all great. Those were very good.
They were fun.
It just took
fun.
It took us a few years to get to them, but other than that, perfection.
Perfectamundo.
Should I read a listener
Oh
story?
my God, yeah, I can too. I got one pulled up.
Oh, you do it for
you
me.
Want
then.
me to go? Okay, I'm gonna go.
I need a brain break after being like scary stories are
Get
scary.
ready for another scary story.
Yes.
This one is titled "Wait, that's not a dog."
Uh-oh.
Okay. Hey there, Marcy and Betsy. Hope you two are in high spirits. Puns.
Yeah.
Pleasantries aside, hello again from the Bay Area. This is my second time writing in.
Welcome.
You may or may not remember, but I'm the guy who borrowed his cousin's digital camera to take ghosty photos in a blackened garage and heard a mysterious laugh.
Oh.
I remember this. Creepy? Perhaps. Unusual? Eyebrow raising? Yes. But ultimately, a 1 or 2 on the spookometer.
Spookometer.
Submitted for the approval of the Midnight Society.
Oh, I love that.
This is so great. Let me throw some fucking like pine needles on the fire.
Oh.
Here's some scary shit that definitely brings the spooky. So go get a change of pants now. Done. A couple of weeks ago, you read a listener story about a group of friends who were driving through the middle of nowhere late at night and saw an eerie figure. This quickly put to mind a tale I've been meaning to send in but just hadn't gotten around to. A tale that isn't actually mine. This happened to my aforementioned cousin. She doesn't like to think about the experience, let alone retell it, but has given me permission to do so. Nice. Thank you. About 3 or 4 years ago, my cousin was going through a rough patch. Her 16-year-old cat, whom she loved very much, was dying and could go at any time. She was understandably very emotional and had been crying for days. 16.
I know.
That's good.
Good long life, but still sad.
So sad. On this night, it was well after dark, past 1 a.m, and my cousin was driving to go retrieve her husband from work. She was on the highway, probably listening to some melancholy 80s music with tears in her eyes.
Oh.
All seemed normal when suddenly she saw what she perceived to be a dog or some kind of small animal dart from the bushes on the side of the road and onto the highway. At this time of night, there weren't too many other cars around, but there was still a handful of drivers surrounding her, and she couldn't understand why no one seemed to be reacting to this dog or whatever it was, or braking to avoid hitting it. My cousin had not passed the animal yet, but as she looked on in shock, the creature reached the highway median. It paused, and its shape began to swell.
Swell?
Swell. That's such a good way to describe something spooky.
Like that girl who turned into a blueberry?
Yeah, she began to swell because she was bad. A bad lady.
Yeah, bad.
What she initially thought was a small dog grew until it became the darkened figure of a man standing upright.
That's
Ew, this is sick.
really scary. Oh, no.
And more confusing, and perhaps even more frightening, this shadowy form had what seemed to be antlers like a deer, but it wasn't a deer.
Do you know what that is?
Marcy,
What is that?
Wendigo,
Yeah.
dude.
Wendigo.
This was a definite human-like shape standing on 2 legs. Wendigo.
Disgusting.
As she finally passed the figure, it hunched down a bit and hopped up onto the median, crouching down on top of the metal divider. My cousin was horrified, but again, none of the other drivers around her seemed to be reacting to what she was seeing. She looked back in her rear view mirror. The figure crossed the other side of the road and disappeared into the dark. She was very afraid, literally shaking. Not knowing what to do or think, she continued driving.
Ugh.
Sometime later, when she told me all this, I said, "You know what that sounds like? It sounds like should I say the word if there's an asterisk in it? Because we've had this happen before with the thing."
This person, I don't know. I have not heard that this is something that you shouldn't utter.
Okay.
That's not something I know. If someone would like to tell us that, we are open to hearing it. I have not heard that. They might personally be nervous
Be like,
of it.
I don't want to say
Yeah.
it. Should I say it?
I'm not nervous of you saying it because you've already said it so many times, and I think
There's an episode of Ghost Hunters about a ranch called it.
Oh, I know what you're gonna say. That is the one that I have heard people shouldn't say.
Oh, were you thinking Wendigo?
Yeah.
Oh, no. So this one, okay, I'll just spell it.
I think you can say it if you are brave enough.
Or should we do, here, how about I'll do, what covers your muscles and bones?
I'm going to look it up. Should you?
And what is not a runner, but a little bit slower?
Yeah.
You get it?
I think you could say like, blank Texas Ranger.
Oh, yeah. So what covers your muscle and bones and then blank Texas Ranger.
I'm looking
Okay,
it up.
everybody? Does everybody know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, if you speak it blank out loud, from dusk till dawn, it calls you to them.
From dusk till dawn. So at night.
And I live in the mountains.
The mountains, Marcy.
I live
the hills.
That's true. But it is a mountain range.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Well, then I'm not saying, I think our clues work.
Okay, I think whatever. We've said it before on this podcast.
We've
We're gonna
absolutely
get
said it
killed.
before. We've
gonna get
absolutely
killed.
said it before. So our reader was like, you know what that sounds like? It sounds like what covers your muscles and bones.
How about this? How about a bin talker?
A bin talker.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. I like that.
Yeah.
That sounds like a bin talker.
A bin talker. Anyway, I'm dumber than ever today. Sorry.
No, we're killing it. We're doing great. And she said her husband had remarked the same thing. My cousin isn't given to exaggeration. She's also a huge scaredy cat. Doesn't like scary movies or anything like that. So I believe this really happened to her. I suggested that her being part Native American may have had something to do with the experience. She said she had heard before that strange occurrences can happen to people going through emotional turmoil. Oh, yeah. We've had a lot of those situations, you know.
Personally.
And the looming death of her cat had really thrown her off balance. To this fact, there have been other weird things that have happened during times she's found it hard to get her emotions under check, but that's not really my place to say.
Wow. Well, you said it. You said it.
Oh, Marcy, busted.
Busted. I heard you.
This thing on the road, though, is something she won't forget. She still has to drive that stretch of highway at night and is continually afraid she'll see the figure again. Yeah, that's a bummer.
Yeah,
that's a bummer.
That's no good.
Hope you enjoyed this tale. Don't soil your skivvies, John. Wow, we did. That was good. That you know what that was like?
What?
A scary story.
That was like a scary story.
That was like a scary story.
That was like scary story.
That was very like a scary story.
A very scary story.
Very scary story.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Well, we thought it was something different than what they thought, right?
Right. I thought Wendigo because of the antlers.
And maybe there's some overlap. Look, I don't know what the scientists are saying about it.
I could see that there being overlap with that, right?
Possibly.
It feels very like a similar thing.
Right. Yeah, like entity.
Yeah.
That's really creepy though.
The
image of the dog.
The dog, and then once again swelling into a standing human figure with antlers. Come on.
Actually stressful is the thing.
And looking in the rear view mirror and seeing it run across into the woods is like, that is so fucking spooky.
It's like a scary story.
This is just like a scary story.
Look, we said it once, we'll say it again. It's like a scary story.
Yes.
Oh boy.
And we love them. Wow.
We want more of them. Okay. I'm going to read one now.
Bring it on, Marcy.
All right. This one is, let's see. It's called Part 2.
Ooh, Hot Shots Part 2.
Hot Shots Part 2. Okay. So it says, "Hi, Betsy and Marcy. My name is Eli, and I have been a longtime listener and thoroughly enjoy myself every time I listen, especially when the two of you riff, especially during the listener stories."
Hey, thank you.
You couldn't stop if you tried.
Nope.
I apologize if this email is long. I never know if I'm making sense and sometimes over-explain myself, just like in real life, just like in IRL, TBH.
Hey, IRL, TBH.
I have submitted an email in the past, which you have read already. It's crazy to hear your own stories read by the two of you. I was like, oh, wow, this sounds like what happened to me. And then I got oddly embarrassed. IDK, not in a bad way. It was just me being like, OMG, that's me.
That's so funny. I remember one time, sorry, real quick, when I was a kid, we were at Walmart. And my parents, like, it was my birthday or Christmas or something, where my parents are like, go away so we can, like, get you stuff.
Oh.
Like, so we could get you, go away. And so I, like, went away and I was, like, messing around. And then after a while I hear, will Betsy Sodaro please come to the front of the Walmart? And for some reason, I got so embarrassed. Because, like, I was so just like, oh my God, that's me. Like,
Did
I'm
you feel
so
like
embarrassed.
Did you feel like I didn't even do anything? They told me to go away.
No, I think I was more of like, oh my God, everybody's going to know that it's me walking to the front.
Oh my God, is that why you decided to become an actor so no one would know who you are?
So no one would know who I am. Yeah. Sorry, I interrupted.
No, that's okay.
But it was so like stomach dropping. I was like, oh my God.
Oh my God, I'm so
This
embarrassed.
is so embarrassing.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's weird.
The only thing you interrupted was this parenthetical. It says, think Jarcy Morrow from Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yes.
Anyway, like I said in my previous email, I've had several paranormal and supernatural stories, or at least what I like to consider them as. Likewise, as I mentioned in previous email, there is some connection I have to the paranormal and supernatural that I don't fully understand. And an aspect of that are my premonitions or foresight, IDK. Maybe it's just intuition.
Whoa.
I spoke about my uncle coming to me, locking me in a bathroom as a child, mind you, bringing me the effigy of what I would later come to realize as an adult was the statue of the Virgin Mary with a message for my grandma. Though I wouldn't consider that a premonition, as he came after he had passed. I just knew he wasn't alive. Going forward, I feel as though I should give a trigger warning and warn that my stories have instances of death, suicide, and violence. To be considerate for those involved, I won't name anyone and keep details vague enough to allow for anonymity. I hope that doesn't come off as insensitive. To be perfectly honest, it's almost therapeutic to write this out because I have no way to express it otherwise. Thank you for the trigger warning.
Yeah, that's nice.
And I think in general, our audience kind of understands that that's, we're all good, kind people working through stuff and bad things happen. Okay. Firstly, I want to say I've always felt deja vu or what I could sense or that I could sense things coming, particularly death, like my grandmother's. God. It was oddly peaceful, however. I remember walking in from a white light, and as my eyes adjusted, I found myself in what I thought was a church, but I later realized I was walking into the mortuary we ended up using at the San Fernando mission.
Whoa.
So I guess technically it was still a church, with a casket at the podium, and as I'm walking down the aisle, I'm met by my uncle, who had been sitting next to my aunt, who had passed away at 26 in a horrible car accident, which is a whole other story with a paranormal component that I will submit later.
Whoa.
Anyway, my aunt doesn't really interact with me. I remember her turning to me and nodding almost in acknowledgement and then faced the casket again. But my uncle came in and tells me, "I'm sorry for scaring you," as he puts his hand on my shoulder, and his voice sounded as if it was muffled, and he looked like it as if he was dubbed, like the words didn't match his lips. Whoa. IDK, it was almost disorienting somehow. He was saying a lot, but I could only understand some of it. He said, "We're waiting for her. We'll take care of her. You take care of her." I assume he meant my mom. Then he walked me to the casket, and I saw my grandma there peacefully. And then I woke up. She died within the week. Whoa.
Wow.
Whoa.
We'll take care of her.
Yeah.
Oh.
I know it's like nice, but that's spooky.
Yeah, it's spooky.
2 years later, I found myself in the same place. This time my grandma was sitting with my uncle and aunt in the front pew in front of a casket. This time, I'm gonna pass away.
That's wild to just be like, oh, we're adding on and we're in the same place.
This is just how your brain this is like we're doing this every time for you. This time my grandma came to me and spoke clear as day. I can't explain why this is. My only theory is that maybe it's because I knew my grandma in life. I heard her voice and had an emotional connection to her, while my aunt died when my mom was 7. So I'd never even seen her outside of pics, and my uncle died when I was 5. I met him a few times apparently, but I don't remember him. So maybe that's why it was harder to hear. IDK nothing.
Wow. IDK nothing.
Anyway,
that is so interesting of like, I never talked to this person, so I don't know.
Well, your brain can't fill it. Like, even if it is like a visitation or not, but like still parts of it are your memories filling this in for you.
Yeah.
It's a way for you to understand it, you know?
Right. Whoa.
Anyway, my grandma told me your grandpa's dying. He was and didn't tell anyone. And your mom will be alone. That I was going to have to be there for her and prepare her for what was coming. And again, I was walked down the aisle to the casket. This time I saw my grandpa. Suicide warning. I think this is a new story. Sorry, I had to see. I was just looking to see how much longer.
Hey.
This is a good one.
Yeah.
This is a good long episode. So, suicide warning. I said that too chipper.
That was way too chipper.
So sorry. I'm just
Marcy, how dare you? That was way too chipper.
I gotta drink more Coke Zero because I gotta.
You know what's wild though? That one wasn't menacing.
It is. That's how that ghost should have said it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do it again.
No.
Okay. This story is about a friend of mine. We met while in the Marine Corps and formed an instantaneous bond. She was a ball of charisma, and we passed our deployment together by speaking in movie quotes and doing music charades or whatever, quote, bored out of our minds games we'd come up with.
Oh.
Anyway, a few years after we got back, and at this point, I had been honorably discharged from the Marines while she was but stationed in San Diego. So we still got to see each other rather regularly, though we'd both tell you not enough. Cut to Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving week in a year that I'll leave out, and things were hectic. I had just moved back home and was getting back into the rhythm of our very dysfunctional holiday gatherings. Hey, I just had those.
Hey, all right.
On top of the back-to-back birthdays, my family has Thanksgiving week for some reason. And my birthday's right after Thanksgiving. We're living the same life.
Oh my goodness.
But all week, I had this nagging, there's a lot of G's, feeling. IDK what it was, but I felt off. Something was off, but I couldn't place it. I couldn't understand why I felt so uneasy, and I kept feeling the need to contact my friend. Like my subconscious was yelling, check on her, check on her, check on her, drive down there now. And at night, I was having weird dreams. I was sitting in water holding a gun, looking down and examining it. And it almost felt as though I could feel the coolness of the metal. But that's all I'm doing, holding the gun and looking down at it. I didn't move or say anything. It's just a raw emotion. However, I never connect my dream to my feeling. I feel like I was so overwhelmed with readjusting to being a civilian again and being with my family that I chalked it up to holiday stress. I contacted her and we made plans to get together after the holidays, though I'm sure you can see where the story is leading. My friend ended up taking her own life that weekend. I know it's not healthy, but it is something I think about daily. What if I had just listened to my gut and went to see her? But we can't live in what ifs. Let's just pause right there before we go on to the next one. That is so hard when to one have that, like the instinct or the intuition that something bad is going to happen. What a strain for that to put on you, that you then feel responsible to stop things.
Right.
But you couldn't.
No. That's all. It's all so tough.
I'm really sorry that you lost your friend in that way. And
yeah, it's so sad and so tough because.
And so many veterans experience that.
Just them writing about how like it was just, it never occurred to me, like readjusting to civilian life. It's like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
That never even crossed my mind that would be hard to do.
I
And
mean,
the whole, like, yeah.
yeah, you go from, having such order
Yeah.
and purpose.
Yes.
Like you're protecting the country. That's your purpose.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the country does nothing to protect you in return.
Yeah, man.
It's
Yeah,
really,
man.
I don't think anyone would argue that veterans need better access to healthcare and mental health care and
Right.
and like just being able to like like have a good nice life and just the normal stuff in our country where everyone should be like, hey, we should all be able to live, right?
Yeah. Yeah, right?
Anyway, I'm very sorry for you, and again, that's what a burden to have that. To think that you could have any effect on that.
Yeah.
Okay. The next story is a lot scarier, though more so for its real life aspects than its supernatural one. Again, I will leave out as much detail as I can as not to be too graphic. Whew, man, I feel for you. You got a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
Much like what I just described, at the stroke of midnight on New Year's Eve 2021, a feeling of doom and uncertainty came over me. I know that sounds mad specific, but I can't describe it. It's almost as if someone flipped the switch and I would spend the majority of 2021 looking for the remote to turn it back off. Oh boy.
Whoa.
This feeling was heavy and I was scared, and I like to think that I'm not a very scary person normally. And based off my past premonition or insights, I quite honestly assumed I was sensing my impending death. Oh, fuck, man, that sucks.
Oh, man.
I became paranoid and almost like a hypochondriac. I was being chased by something I couldn't see, and I sounded crazy trying to explain it, but it persisted. Cut to springtime, late March and early April, and I found myself dreaming a dream that that would recur over the next couple months. Except it doesn't feel like a dream. I'm there, like I'm there. I can smell the outside air, that cool darkness mixed with dirt, of which I'm laying in, and my hands are gripping heaps of dried leaves and dirt. I can feel and hear them crinkling in my hands, and I'm looking around disoriented and beside myself. And in my daze, I look up and I see a large, dark male silhouette, unable to see his face. And again, he said something to me, something I couldn't understand. He was muffled in that way that sounded unintelligible, yeah. But I could tell that he was angry and he had an evilness to him. At the same time, these feelings are coming to me as I'm looking up at him. He brings his foot up and breaks my jaw. Oh no, this is too scary.
This is too scary.
Suddenly, I can feel my jaw hanging from my face as I try to grab it and hold it together, and I feel myself losing consciousness and wake up. This is when I figured I was meant to die. Not only that, I really felt as though I had lived it. Like I was transported to that moment in time. I know that sounds crazy, but I can't explain it any other way. It felt that real. I felt those leaves crumbling in my hands. However, while I thought that it was my future I was seeing, I would find out that it was actually someone close to me.
Oh my God.
In the summer of 2021, they were abducted from outside a bar in North Hollywood, attacked and left for dead in a ditch. Thankfully, they were able to pull themselves out of the ditch they were left in and wave down some teens and call an ambulance. I am like so horrified by this.
Me too.
Like, I can't believe it's so sad and scary. And I'm so glad this person was able to survive this. Okay. I struggle every day thinking of the what ifs, specifically my lack of action. Again, I found myself doubting my intuition, doubting things I've seen and felt. IDK, like I said, this is therapeutic for me because I don't understand my visions, and I feel like it makes me complicit after the fact in a way that most people wouldn't understand. But there's nothing you wouldn't. There's nothing you couldn't know. Like.
No.
You couldn't know that. You couldn't, like, there's no way. So,
No.
I want to take that away from you right now. Side note, and take this for what it is, I will attach a picture, but I ask you not to post it just because I don't want people to recognize me and connect the dots to those I'm talking about. But at the time, I was 30, going on 31. I was a 31-year-old adult. Sorry, I'm like doing too many things, trying to like find pictures and stuff for you,
totally.
Betsy.
You're doing great.
Trying to connect the dots to blah, blah, blah. Sorry. I was healthy and had 20/20 vision, maybe a little plump from the pandemic, but in April, around the time I had my dream, I started to have blurred vision in my right eye. Like one day to the next, I went from 20/20 vision in both eyes to my right eye sight being as if I'm looking through it underwater. Oh man.
What?
Oh no. Within months, I had fully developed cataracts that took the vision in my right eye. Mind you, cataracts usually take years to mature, very slowly. When I went to the doctor, they literally thought I had had them since I was a child. Anyway, like I said, I was a completely healthy adult, no problems with my eyes, and even asked them to check for diabetes just in case. Everything came back fine, really good even. Nothing can explain what caused it. Even now, after I've had surgery to have a new lens put in, and they could finally see behind my eye because the cataracts were so dense they couldn't see the back of my eye or retina. They still have no explanation as to what caused it or why, especially for my age and its rapid maturity. However, I have a theory, and maybe it's ridiculous, but I think it's cause I got a glimpse of the future and that it took a lot of my energy. I was trying to warn myself about something, the gravity of which could only be understood by actually taking myself there and seeing it. Yet somehow I still managed to miss the mark. However, I've taken this experience and have been trying to find new ways to focus in on understanding what I can see and how to see in a way that is useful. ATM at the moment, I think. I'm studying runes, tarot, Lenormand conjure cards. Lenormand? Wow. I don't know that word. Candles and imbuing my energy protection onto objects, spaces, and those I love. Sorry again for the long message. Thanks for making it this far. If you've read this, I love you, ladies. Eli. P.S. Marcy, my sister and I love Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and I'd be remiss if I didn't thank you for your part in it for both of us. Oh my God, thank you.
Nice.
I will share with Betsy the images so you can just see.
Wow. Eli, I'm so glad you're like, I think it's so rad that you're like making moves to like, I don't know, try to work with this.
Yeah.
Of like, study all this, like, might as well. Like,
also,
because something's up.
Eli seems like, this is all a lot of traumatic stuff happening. And they really seem like they've taken it in stride in a lot of ways.
Yes.
Like they've really, handled it well and for what it is too, which is very admirable. Very admirable.
Very admirable.
Whew.
Wow.
I hate that for everyone involved though.
I know.
Whew. Beep, boop, boop.
Wow. That was wild.
Let's see. Maybe I'll read will you read?
Oh yeah, I have one
a shorter one because my other emails, or we could do a long ass listener story and round it out. What do you think?
What are you feeling, dude?
Yeah, let's take a little break from reading. We'll listen to one of y'all long ones.
Yeah, let's do it.
One of y'all longins.
Give us a long one.
finally sending in my stories. I had to after I heard you both trying to do math. And I knew you guys were desperate for some stories. So I actually have many, many, many stories. But what I'll share with you are the most recent ones. All right, so the last time I was home alone, please note, at the time I was married and I have 2 small children, but they happened to be out with their dad, so I could go and run errands. So I came home from the grocery store, and as soon as I walked in, I heard somebody upstairs running really, really fast, and it sounded just like my daughter's footsteps. It sounded like it wasn't big, like not an adult size footsteps, but it sounded like children's footsteps. So I heard it run really, really fast, and almost like it hit the floor and slid kind of deal, like when you hit the floor on your knees and then you kind of slide a little bit. So right away I thought it was my daughter, so I called out her name. I said, her name is Emery. So I said, Emery, and I walked over to the staircase and I looked upstairs, and there was nobody there. So I look outside and I'm thinking, did I totally miss my husband's car and like they're here? So I look outside through the window and nobody's car is there. So I'm like, okay, whatever. Just kind of brushed it off. So I go back outside to get some more groceries. Please note, I am only a 2-tripper. I will carry as many bags as I possibly can. So anyways, this is my second trip out to grab the groceries, and I come back in and I hear like shuffling near me. Like, I don't know, like if somebody were to walk by really quickly and, you know, like kind of like, I don't know, the air shuffles and paper shuffle kind of deal. I don't know how to explain it. So I stopped. Like I literally stopped in my tracks of what I was doing, and I got chills all over my body. And I'm like, there's somebody here. So I called out again. I'm like, Chris, Emery. Chris was then husband's name, and no reply. I'm a little bit like on alert now. I'm like, okay, this is strange. So I go to the garage to go ahead and close the garage door and come back and put away all of the groceries. And I bend over, I never forget, I bent over to, I think, pick up one of the plastic bags or something. And right directly in front of me, it sounded like somebody had their mouth in a cup. You know, like when you were little, you would put like a plastic cup around your mouth and say something. So right as I bent over, I could hear it and feel it right in front of my face. And it was a female voice, and it goes, hoo-hoo. And I sit straight up, and I'm like, and I wasn't scared, because I've had many, 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 many different experiences. So, but I didn't get bad vibes from this either. And I go, okay, girl, I heard you. And I kind of like laughed a little bit. I was like, you got my attention. You can leave now. And as soon as I said that, I heard footsteps, almost like it was running like towards the front of my house where the front door is. And it was gone. Like the vibe was gone. The chills were gone that I had. So yeah, so that's one of my stories. So that was pretty quick. So I'll tell you another really creepy story that still resonates with me. I'll never forget it. It was probably one of the times that I was just the most scared. So my dad is retired military in the Air Force, and we were living in Germany at the time. And after school, I was like, I think 12 years old maybe at the time. I would just walk home by myself. The school wasn't very far away, and that's just what all the kids did. We all walked walked to and from school because we were on base housing. So it was really safe. But anyway, so I would go home. Both my parents, obviously, they worked. So I would be home for a few hours by myself. And this was actually probably the first few days of being back to school. So I remember, like, I was so excited to get home so I can organize my binder. Yeah, I was that kid and I still am that person. But anyways, so I get home and I like just beeline for the living room, and I take everything out of my backpack to go ahead and organize my binder based on, you know, what different teachers wanted. So I'm sitting in the living room. I have the TV on in front of me. To the back of me is like the dining room, the opening to a hallway that leads to the front door, and then also there's a kitchen over. So all of this is behind me. Anyways, so I'm facing with all of this stuff behind me. So as I start to organize my binder, I hear footsteps. And my first thought is, sweet, my dad, like, it sounded like my dad, I guess you could say. Like, it sounded masculine, like masculine footsteps. So I'm like, oh yeah, my dad's home. Like, what is he doing home early? So I look behind me to the hallway, and I say, Dad? There's no reply. So I'm like, okay, whatever. It's probably, I'm just hearing maybe something else. And these were wood floors. So, you know, when you walk on wood floors, you can almost feel it, like the vibration of a footstep. And it was very distinctly, like, there. Not like it was upstairs or a neighbor or something like that. It was like very distinctly behind me in the hallway. So anyway, so I go back to what I'm doing, and I hear the footsteps again. And now I'm creeped out. So I look behind me, there's no one there, there's nothing there, and I feel so scared. This is like bad vibes. This is not good, whatever I'm hearing. So I'm like really just pet myself up, and I'm like, all right, you're fine, like, it's fine, there's nothing there. Next thing I know, I hear the footsteps again, and they're louder, and they're running, like, towards me. And to my left was our couch, and right behind the couch we had I guess they're called sofa tables, like the really long, skinny tables. So like the couch wasn't butted up against the wall. So what it sounded like was like these footsteps were running at me, and like they slid, and I mean like home run slid back behind the couch. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like freaking out. So I run outside. And at the time we had cordless phones. On my way out, I grabbed the cordless phone. I'm shaking. I am crying. And I call my mom, who's at work. And I'm like, Mom, there's somebody in the house. There's someone in the house. Like, this is how sure I was that there was somebody in the house, because it was so distinct and it was so close to me. It was probably like 3 feet away from me. And my mom gets pissed because I'm calling her at work, and she's like, you're ridiculous. Like, if you're scared, you probably just heard, one of the neighbors. If you're scared, just go downstairs to the neighbor's house. Because I had a girlfriend that lived downstairs. These were like apartments, I guess you could say, kind of like apartments. And so I did do that. I went downstairs, I knocked on their door, no one was home. And I was like, fuck. I'm thinking, I've got to go back in there. And I don't want to. Like, I do not want to. I was so scared. I was shaking. I felt like I was going to throw up. So I waited outside of my friend's house for a few minutes, and she never showed up. Because I'm like, surely she should be home from school by now too, because we went to the same school, but she wasn't there. So I finally, after a good 10 to 15 minutes, I walked back up, and I was like, it's fine, like, you're gonna be fine, there's nothing here, like, my dad was going to be home any moment anyway, so I was like, you're going to be fine. So I just got inside and I turned on like the funniest thing that was on the TV to like calm my nerves, and I turned it up loud. I don't know, just to like, I don't know, maybe so I wouldn't hear anything else. I don't know, but so I sit back down. I don't hear anything. I sit back down in front of the TV on the floor where I was, and I start getting back to my binder organization. And I hear in my right ear breathing, and I could feel it. And when I tell y'all, I ran so fast out of that house. I don't think I've ever run so fast in my life. I ran. And I went back downstairs to my friend's house, and by that time she was home, and I was just so distraught. She opened the door and she's like, "Are you okay?" And I didn't want to tell her because I thought she would think I was crazy, but I was very obviously upset. And she was like, "Are you okay?" And like at the time, you know, like it was, you know, you're in, I guess, junior high or middle school, whatever you want to call it. So she was thinking it was like some kind of drama at school with a friend. And she's like, "Did so-and-so do something to you?" You know, and I'm like, no. But I never told her. And I just stayed there until my dad got home. And yeah, I never heard anything like that again, ever, in that house. But that was probably the scariest I have ever been. So anyways, I'm happy to send more. I have tons and tons more. I have past life regressions. I have tons of psychic things. I'm also very sensitive. So I have a lot of stories, but those are the two that, one that is the most recent, and then the other one that just scared probably the shit out of me. I probably shit my pants, but it happened so long ago I can't remember. But anyways, I love you guys. Keep it up. I will send more when I have time, and I hope I hear this on the podcast. Bye.
We did it. We played it on the podcast.
Whoa. Marcy, it was another right ear, something happening into the right ear.
I bet that has a meaning that I just can't think of what it is right now.
Yeah,
it sounds
I bet
very
it
familiar,
does.
right?
Yes.
Oh.
Especially to have like two stories that had,
Yeah.
the first one had two right ear incidences.
And then the sliding and
the
stuff.
sliding. What? And the running.
That would,
Nasty.
well, it would make me like worried about what it is. Like if it's, you know, like something of this realm, but it's
Right?
too
'Cause
scary.
It feels like it could be following them. Because they had that similar one when they
no.
were recently of
Oh no.
thinking it was their kid who was also sliding.
Oh no, Betsy.
Oh, no.
Why did you do that to them?
I'm so sorry.
No.
I am so sorry.
Man, these stories today were like scary stories.
They were like scary stories.
Yes.
dude.
What a way to set off the Christmas season with so much fear.
With so much scary.
So scary, guys. Oh, these were
It's
great.
all I want under my tree.
Yes, I want just terror under the tree.
Just terror under the tree. Hey, we should write a movie called Terror Under the Tree.
No one steal it. It takes us so long to outline.
Outlining is the hardest part, Marcy.
You have to do it.
And you have to. Maybe we don't have to.
We've already come this far. We have
I
to
know. We're
finish.
close.
Okay.
We're close.
For what's the name of the movie we just said? Terror Under the
Terror
Tree.
Under the Tree.
Oh, well, we'll let you know when it's
Wow.
going to be on Lifetime.
Oh, a dream.
A damn dream.
A damn dream. Thank you all so much for sending in your stories. That
These were
they're like
great.
scary stories.
They were actually like scary stories.
We love it. We love you.
Thank you.
You know.
Go.
Thank you.
Bye.
Oh, yeah. And thank you so much for listening to A Funny Feeling.
If you have a paranormal experience that you would like to share, please send us a voice memo, or you can email us just a letter at funnyfeelingpod@gmail.com. I'm Marcy.
I'm Betsy. And don't shit your pants!
That was a HeadGum podcast.